So here's my Oscar 336. This is a 35 horse. They come in a 23 standard, the 35 upgrade, and a 37 fuel injected. Now I've done what I'm calling my fast level system, and that is basically a 3/4 inch bolt. Now that is welded to the track frame and it goes into those pillar blocks. I find these pillar blocks to work very well for making a base. This gives me a lot of adjustment. Those are 4-inch 3/4 bolts with a nut on it, and then they go inside those pillar blocks. It gives me a lot of latitude for leveling adjustments. We have the power feed system. Now that's just a rheostat with a rheostat control forward. You can adjust the speed. So you don't have to push on the sawmill. You do have a manual power up and down here. This one here is an override for when you hit your safety stops. Over here is a safety stop. That's controlled off of this switch that runs next to the chain. So your power feed runs off of a DC motor, and it's a chain feed system. Runs up over the top of that motor for feeding. That's how that operates. Now I am equipped with the new Setworks Pro that we offer with Hud-son, and this allows you to pretty much get away from the scale. Now the scale's on the side. They got a 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, and 8/4 scale. You can use that. It works good. The 1-inch scale does not take in calculation of the band or the blade width, but the 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, and 8/4 scale do. With Setworks, you can program in, say you know your log, you want to go to 18 inches. You can program in 18 inches, and it automatically starts raising the mill up. Raise it up until it hits 18 inches. And then you're up 18 inches for your cut height. It does take in a calculation of your blade width the whole time. Now once you had, say your cant was 18 inches tall and you wanted to cut, say, 1.5 inch board out of it, there is program settings that are up here. You can program these into different widths for a memory, or you can program in your board. Say you want to cut 1.5 inches, so you go 1 inch, you go over, you go 1 down and half, and I'm gonna do 10 boards. And then you go times. Now it says up here you have 15 boards in that. So if I was only going to cut 10, it would still leave a good bit of that cant left. So I could times it by 15, so it cut all the way through the cant. So 15, enter. Now it tells me it's going to drop to 17 in 30 seconds. That's where the first cut is going to happen. So if I hit enter, it dropped to that, and that's where my very first cut, and it'll cut 1.5 inch boards all the way through each time. So if I went with this button is a bump up. Say I just did my cut, it bumped up a little bit for coming back. And if I push enter, this one here, or this one, it lowered down to the next. Come down 1 1/16. Well, I misprogrammed in. Anyway, instead of 1.5 inches. Here on this machine, I've put a little L bracket. That's so I can hang a bucket underneath. Keeps this area a lot cleaner, and then I dump it in a wagon to haul off for another dump site. The level system, you can adjust each one of the nuts to level it up. You can have varying heights on your blocks, so you don't have to have, a perfectly flat surface. You can get your mill leveled off. The chain feed system hooks on the end, runs from end to end, and that is my Oscar 336. It's all ready to start cutting. Since last year, I took it down for the winter without having a cover over it. But that'll happen this year, I think. Thanks for watching. And if you're interested in an Oscar 336 in this setup, get a hold of Big Timber Machinery. We'll work with you.